Welcome to the what is this, part four? This is the fourth session, right? Fourth session or fifth session? Well, we'll figure it out. The session before our call day on Saturday, and I'm just excited. I tell my son all the time. He's in baseball, and I said, you don't measure your success on whether you win the game. You measure your success on whether you win your game. And his game is showing up there and giving it his best. His game is showing up there prepared and ready to go. His game is getting to that point where he's got a good attitude, right? He's got a good mindset. And as long as he continues winning his game, I'm fine. It doesn't matter. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter whether the team wins because there's so many other variables that have to take place to win a game. That means everybody's got to be on their game, right? So Saturday, your goal, set a goal for Saturday. What you want to happen. I just want you to win your game, right? So I woke up this morning and I was like, this is exciting. I've sent out like 500 letters to some expired listings. I got 3 really good conversations that are happening. I got one that's getting a little closer. So I'm like, you know what? On Friday, I'm going to call fresh expireds and I'm going to call some of these letter calls that I have, which the script changes just a tiny bit, right? Which I can share with you. I want to kind of give you some techniques on that. But Saturday's about having fun, guys. We're going to get there at 8 o'clock. We're going to role play from 8 to 8:30, right? I actually gave Kim the schedule. And then from 8:30, let me pull it up here. From 8:30 to, I think I said, hold on, let me pull it up here. Kim, do you have the, here it is right here.
Yeah.
So I put 8:30 role play. 8:30 to 10 will be phone calls. And we can all be in the same room. If you guys are okay, we can all be in the same room. We can branch off if it gets a little loud. I suggest you bring some earbuds because I want your hands to be free. And I want you to walk around talking to people like you're talking to somebody with your hands, right? Put your phone down, walk around. You know what I mean? Have your script in your hand, but sometimes motion fixes it, right? But the idea, honestly, on Saturday, my goal is to set 3 appointments. That's my goal. It always has been my goal. I don't care if it's been 10 or 12 years since I've done it. I'm setting 3 appointments on Saturday. And out of those 3 appointments, I want at least a minimum of 1 seller who's willing to sign a contract. And that needs to be your mindset, right? And it might be different. It might be different. But you know what? I've done 3 over and over again. So the mindset, the inflection behind it. You know what I mean? So get your list together. Get your list together for your calling. Do you guys have a subscription for Red X?
That's what I was going to ask you, Joey. Like, where are we getting the calls? Because I'm not going to do Red X right now. I looked into it and I just don't.
Sure,
like.
sure,
Yeah.
sure. So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to have Rome get on top of that and see if we can have Red X deliver me all the expireds on Saturday morning. Let me see if I can just get it done because Saturday morning is the first. And then we'll go from there. Okay, it's Wednesday, so we got some time to do that between Thursday and Friday. And then I'll just bring the call lists and then we can call. Okay. And then even the letter calls, I'll look at some of those as well. But my goal is to just call as many as we can. Okay, makes sense. We used to be in the same room. There was 11 of us, and eight out of the 11 people that I was training were all in the same market. So they'd be calling the same people. This would hang up, and then they go to the next one. And then it's actually pretty funny. But the letter call is going to be ones that I'm doing on Saturday as well. And it just changes a little bit. Hey, I sent you a letter about your property. Did you receive it? And am I hitting record? I am hitting record, right?
Yeah.
Am I recording?
Yes.
So, hey, I sent you a letter. Did you receive it? No, I didn't. Yeah, I sent you a letter. I'm sure you figured out your home came off on the market a while back, and you know what? I'm really active in the market, and I was just calling to see, if you'd be interested in selling your home if we get you the right price. Just kind of a different call. But since I send them a letter, it actually is a little easier introduction to the call. You with me, Paul? Introduction to the call. So what does that mean? Does that mean I think you need to start sending out a shitload of letters? No, that's not what I mean. Here's what I mean. Why don't you get a couple zip codes in your area a couple zip codes that you are known in, that you have presence in, right? And then create a little list on MLS that all those that when they get expired, like create a portal, right? 95624, whatever portal you want, Paul, Kim, John, whatever, right? And then when you get like 5 of them together, you can send them a letter. You can send them a letter and you can call them. And it warms up the call a little bit. But it's just the introduction is kind of that little change. Ring ring. Say hello, Paul. Ring ring. I can't hear you, Paul.
Hello.
Hi, Paul. This is Joey Satariano with eXp Realty. I had sent you a letter about your property. Did you receive it?
I might have. I think so.
Yeah, I sent you a letter. Looks like you were on the market a while back, and we've been a lot of activity in your area, Paul. And I'm just wondering, would you be interested in getting your home sold if we can get you the right price?
Well, I suppose we hadn't gotten the right price yet.
Okay. No, I can appreciate that. So, Paul, curious, when you were on the market back then, if you sold a home, do you see what I'm trying to say? It's just that little introduction part of it. Now, listen, I'm a man of integrity. The old Joey 20 years ago wouldn't send a letter and say, I sent a letter. Okay. I'm not telling you to do that, right? Because I think you should send a letter. Because if they grab the letter and they have the letter or they seen the letter and you call them, dude, you are that much closer. You are that much closer. Agents, what's up, John?
Hey, Mr. Joey.
Yeah, so it's just like people are moving so quickly that like direct mail has kind of dwindled off. When's the last time you got a direct mail piece from a real estate agent?
Long time.
Been a while,
Been a
but
while.
Open Door is killing it. They keep sending it to my house all the time.
Yeah, well, they're yeah, I hear you. I hear
Right.
you. So I'm going to do some letter calls and then some lists. Okay. Now that I realize none of you have Red-X, you put me to work. So I better make sure I get enough numbers. So any questions about Saturday?
No, we're at the Roseville office, right?
Yes.
And I
8
don't
to
have the key
8:30.
fob on the weekend, so you'll be there to let us in.
I will be there. Yes, 8 to
Right.
8:30 role play. 8:30 to 10 will be phone calls. And then 10 to 10:15. Hey, how's it going? Where are they hanging up? Is how you feeling about your conversations, right? And then we might do another role play, right? And then why do we do that? It's just to kind of get us warmed up. And then 10:15 to 11:45 we'll do calls again. 11:45 to 12 we'll debrief. Now listen, I'm telling you, your car's going to be out of gas. Your car might run out of gas. Your battery might die. You might lose your cell phone, whatever the case may be. Be there on Saturday. All the resistance in the world will try to get in front of you. Trust me when I tell you, right? But this is for you. Winning, first of all, is just making the decision and showing up. You with me? And if you're getting nervous and you're getting embarrassed and you're afraid to make calls, guess what? Welcome to the freaking game. Welcome to the game. Because I can say everything I want, but when I get ready to make that first call, I'm going to be psyching myself up. I'm going to be shadow boxing in the corner of the room, right? I used to go to my call sessions with a hammer. A hammer. They used to call me the hammer. Literally, I'm not kidding you. Amber will tell you that. And I used to have a hammer next to me to remind me I'm the hammer. I'm going to get that appointment. There is nothing. If you will just hear me out and not hang up on me, you are going to give me an appointment. You are going to give me an appointment. Well, I'm not motivated. I appreciate that. Let me ask you a question. If I get you a full price offer right now, could you move in the next 30 days, or would that be a problem for you? Do you think you can do that? Absolutely. I'm not in it for the practice, Paul. I sell homes. I'll give you a commitment that most agents don't have the audacity to give you, Paul. And here's the commitment I'm going to give you. If I list your home, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it. So what's a good time for us to get together? You see how heavy that landed? See how heavy that landed? It's authority. So today I want to hear authority. John, you're a beast. I gave you a free pass last week because your energy was low. But today I want to hear some authority from every one of you. I want authority, right? They start getting angry, right? They start yelling or whatever. It's not saying that they're going to, right? But if they do, you say, hey, you know what? I understand you're frustrated. I understand you lost hope. And I'm so sorry that my industry let you down. I am so sorry that my industry did not do what they promised. You know, the fact of the matter is, Paul, I got to deal with them every day. I got to deal with them every day. There's so many part-time agents. Did you know did you know the average agent sells 2 to 3 homes?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's a lot of mediocrity in our industry. But just so you know, our team, we sell 20 times the amount of homes of the average agent. You do? Absolutely. So what would be a good time for me to show you how we do that? What would be a good time for me to show you how we do that? Right? What would be a good time? And they're like, well, I told you, we're not really interested. We're gonna hold off until July. Hey, no worries. Let me ask you a question. If I can get you an offer in the next month or so that's acceptable for you and your wife with a free rent back from now until July, would that be something you'd be interested in doing? Well, what does that mean? Ooh, now when they say what does that mean? It's just like if you guys fish, it's like you let some slack off the line and the fish is going a little bit, he's getting a little tired, right? And then boom, you set the hook. Well, here's what that means. That means I would find you a buyer that'd be interested in buying your home, but they don't actually need to move into it until July. You could do that? Absolutely. But our first step we can do is set an appointment. Set an appointment. The first step we need to do is set an appointment. Okay. And that's the big mindset that I want you to think about when you're on these calls. You're not selling homes. Stop trying to sell homes on the phone. It's about setting an appointment. You know why follow-up is so hard? Let me get really clear with you guys. Do you know why follow-up is such a hard task? Anybody know why? Anybody know why follow-up is so hard?
Technically, just fearing the no.
Follow-up is so hard is because they're not ready to talk about real estate majority of the time when you call them. They're at Timmy's soccer practice, right? They're at Ella's volleyball practice, right? They're pumping gas, right? They're getting ready to go to the bank, right? They're at the gym. They're not thinking about Kim and selling the home and meeting you at an open house 3 weeks ago, Kim. They don't want to talk to you because they're not interested in talking about real estate. You set an appointment because you're scheduling another time to talk about real estate. When you're calling these people Saturday morning, you are going to interrupt them. They're not going to want to talk to you sometimes, and that's okay. Your job is to wake them up, have the conversation, and set another time to have another conversation. You with me?
Mhm.
And then after we set our appointments on Saturday, then what we're going to do after that on Saturday for our next week, we'll work on the pre-qual script, which is a script where you dig a little bit more about your expired, learn a little bit more about them, their motivations, their mindsets. So I'm assuming this time you're going to list your home to sell, right? And not just have it on the market for a long period of time, right? You're going to ask them some more probing questions after the first date. It's kind of like at a nightclub. You're meeting them for the first time. How are you? You know, you're talking to them for a few minutes, trying to see if there might be some interest, right? And then instead, you're scheduling another time to hang out for some coffee. Something real like light. Does that make sense? You're not like, hey, let's go to Ruth Chris and have a fine dinner experience with the bottle of wine. You're like, hey, can we grab some coffee? You know? So questions on anything we're talking about. Questions on anything we're talking about. Energy is going to be the key. So today when we do some role plays, I want energy today. I want energy. I want excitement in regards to it. Remember, you have to, in your mindset in all of this is you have to understand that it is in their worst interest for them to not talk to you. It is in their best interest for them to talk to you. It is in their best interest. Make sense? Welcome, Amber. I was just talking about you a minute ago. That's probably why you showed up, because your ears were ringing.
Oh, great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Amber, I was telling the team here. Remember when I used to bring a hammer with me?
Yes.
We used to do our calls. I'm not making up these stories. Amber was there.
Yes.
Amber was there. I used to bring a hammer with me. And you remember when they had me all call that one angry guy that Carlos was trying to set the appointment? I don't know if you were there, but they had me call this one angry guy. The guy started yelling at me. I started yelling at him, and I got the appointment. It's pretty funny, actually. So, anyways,
Oh yeah, I do remember that. And then that's when the tough guy came out. Yes.
yeah, the tough guy came out. Exactly. Yeah. And then it was actually in that moment. Here's what I want you guys to understand. It was in that moment that Amber's broker asked me to be the coach for his whole office. He had like 80 agents. I never thought about coaching. And that's when I was like, okay. And then I shared the business plan with somebody else, and then they asked me to coach for their office. I'm like, whoa, I might be onto something. Okay. Anyways, let's jump in. Who's first? Who's first?
I'll do
I
it.
love it, Paul. Jump in, man. I want energy. I want energy, Paul. I want energy. I'm clear repeating everything I'm saying. And I just want you to be who you are, man. Let's do it.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, I'm looking for Joey.
This is Joey.
Hi, Joey. My name is Paul with First Realty Group. I'm sure you figured out that your listing on your house has expired, and I was calling to see when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job?
Oh, you guys keep calling me. You guys been calling me since 7 a.m. Man, don't you guys have anything else to do?
Well, the early bird gets the worm, and well, if you sold your home, though, where would you go next?
I like your attitude, Paul. Yes, I do. Early bird does get the worm. You know, buddy, I'm going to tell you what I told everybody else. We're burnt out on this whole thing. I mean, we've been trying to sell for about 6 months, and it's just not. I mean, me telling you where to go, it doesn't really matter, Paul, because we're just going to stay put.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that is very, very frustrating. But well, Joey, were you aware that 76 homes sold in your area in the last 3 months? We need to kind of figure out why yours didn't sell.
Okay, 76 homes.
I know homes are still selling consistently, even in this market. How soon were you didn't even say it. How soon did you want to be where you were? Or were you, excuse me. How soon were you looking to get to LA?
Well, I mean, I mean, Paul, like I said, we've been on the market. We were on the market for about 6 months, and we had plans all lined up. We were in contract for another house. It was a contingent sale, and my realtor let me down. So I mean, you know what I mean? So it's really disheartening because my wife was really excited about going to LA.
And what do you think, specifically stopped your home from selling? Was it just
I want you to ask me that one more time, Paul, but I want you to ask me like you're curious. I want you to whisper and I want you to lean in and I want you to ask me curiously.
Joey, what do you think stopped your home from selling?
Good, good. You know, I honestly, I wasn't sure in the beginning. I mean, all my agent kept telling me to do was lower my price, but it was like enough already. I lowered it 2 times, and then he said, you know, it's the interest rates, and you know, so I'm like, you know what, hell with that. I'm done. I'm done. So my wife and I are gonna we're gonna remodel the kitchen. She actually before we started all this stuff, we were just gonna remodel the kitchen, and then my wife was just gonna go out and spend some time in LA next to her parents, for the summertime, and then we decided we are gonna move, and now we're just gonna kind of go back to our original plans. So
Gotcha. Well, that last agent, how did you pick them?
they were actually it was actually referral from a friend of mine.
Gotcha. And did they do anything that you liked about when they had your home listed?
I mean, he did what everybody normally does. He put it on the computer, he put a sign in the yard, he had open houses, he had this really great video slideshow, put it on social media. I mean,
I see. The basics. Okay. Well, what do you think they should have done?
sell my house.
Okay. Well, Joey, do you know that the average agent only sells 2, 3 homes a year?
I was not aware of that.
Well, my team greatly outpaces that average. We have an aggressive marketing strategy and it provides consistent results. And have you already chosen an agent to work with?
You know, Paul, you're calling me on a Saturday morning, and no, I have not.
Well, Joe, I would like to apply for the job of selling your home. Are you familiar with the techniques that we use?
I'm not. What do you do to sell homes?
What we do is we provide consistent results. Our properties don't tend to last on the market. What I'd like to do is show you in person so I can really illustrate the value that we're going to bring.
How much time do you need?
I don't know. Why don't you give me about 15, 30 minutes? We'll walk through your property and I'll list out exactly what we do.
Great role play, Paul. Great role play.
I fell off at the end. I fell off
Okay, no, just
my head.
get
I need the
hey,
rest.
get out of your head. Get out of your head, Paul. You did great.
So,
Get out of your head, man. You did great. Can somebody give Paul feedback?
I would like to give some feedback.
Yeah, please.
Yes, I enjoyed the comment of when Joey was going over the things that his previous agent did, and your reply was, "Oh, okay, the basics." So I enjoyed that part. Yes.
Very subtle, but
Mm-hmm.
very subtle, but you poked a hole in my plan. You poked a
Yeah.
hole in what I did. You put uncertainty and doubt. The basics. You
Mm-hmm.
pulled me in, Paul. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Well,
So
I think the 76 homes was kind of a stretch, but um, I think I would have said like maybe 20 homes. But
well, but John, here's what I want you to share, okay? When you get ready to get on the phones, you want to know how many homes sold in your
oh
area.
yeah, that's a good
Does that
idea.
make sense? You want to know them. So it doesn't matter if it's 5 zip codes, John. Are
Okay.
you aware that there were 76 homes that sold last month? That's not a big number, John. It's
Yeah.
not. You know what I mean? Or you could even say something like, did you know that there were 630 homes that sold in the last 6 months in your area?
So it's good to know your market.
You have to know your market,
Mm-hmm.
John, because when they come up with this crap, nothing is selling, you can, without insulting them, John, you say, are you aware? Wow, nothing's selling. Is that what, 1 second, Paul? Nothing's selling. Huh. Interesting. How did you come to that conclusion? Well, my agent said nothing's selling in the area. Well, I'm not sure where that information came from, but I can tell you this. We had 76 homes that sold in your zip code last month. So the goal really is to figure out why you weren't one of them. Boom! Dismantle that argument. Paul, jump in.
I was just thinking to yes and what John was saying is clearly I'm gonna say I'm picking whatever this neighborhood that I'm gonna call for the most of my calls. You just pull up a one sheet, print it out that has the sales in that area. Then you'll have the specific number that you can reference to, and you could even say like, yeah, well, like 123, Main Street right around the corner from you that sold. I wonder what was why yours didn't.
That's a
Something
good
like
idea.
that, and
Pull the
they'll
market.
they'll know that house, because it's nearby.
Yeah.
If you go to the doctors and you tell them they're dizzy, you tell the doctor that you're dizzy. And the first thing I got a quick question for you. How's been your hydration? Have you been consciously drinking a lot of water? One of the main things, the reason why people are dizzy is because of hydration. No, I never really thought about how's your caffeine intake? Well, I drink a lot of coffee. That could very well be, Paul. So here's what I want to do. Let's set an appointment with our lab so I can have your blood work drawn. You see what I just did, Paul? I just gave you just something. It's the same idea. Are you aware that there were 73 homes that sold? You gave them a new piece of information. Remember, listen, you cannot change somebody's mind. You get them to make a new decision based on new information. Okay? Okay, who's up? Great job, Paul. Great job. Okay? Only one feedback from me. When I ask you, what do you do to sell homes? I want you to make it brief. I want to say that's exactly why we need to get together.
Joey, that's exactly why we need to get together.
So I can illustrate exactly what we do. Right? That's exactly why we need to get together so I can give you in detail description of what we specifically do to sell homes. That's exactly why we need to get together. Okay? Because when we're doing this role play, I want you to think about it. I want you to have an illustration of a window. Kim, you'll like this. An illustration of a window. And as you're making this call, the window is going to open. And when that window of opportunity opens during that call, you take it. You take it. And I'm gonna mess around. I'm gonna throw you guys a window here and there. I want you to see where that window is. Does that make sense? And I'm gonna see if you guys take it. And when I say when the window's there, that's when you go for the appointment. You go for the appointment, then you come back and ask the rest of the questions. Does that make sense? Okay, who's up? Who's up next?
I'm ready.
Okay, you go ring ring. I say hello. Let's move. Let's keep going.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Joey?
This is Joey. Who is this?
Hi, Joey. This is Kim Carlson, and I'm calling with eXp Realty. And I'm sure you figured out that the listing on your home is expired. And I was calling to find out, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job?
Wow. I've been getting a lot of calls. How did you get my number?
We have special ways. I know that your phone has probably been blowing up, and a bunch of agents that are calling for your listing, but this is the right agent that called you this time, and you'll be glad I got your number.
Okay, well, so Kim, how can I help?
I was calling to find out, so if your home would have sold, where did you plan on moving to next?
You know, we were looking at moving up to Auburn. We want to get up to the mountains and kind of get some property around us.
Oh, nice. Auburn is beautiful. There's so many walking trails and property. So when did you plan on being in Auburn?
You know, we were hoping to be there before Christmas. I mean, that was the goal. Our goal was because we have some friends that live in Auburn, and we go up there quite often, and we were just hoping to be there in Christmas, but now we're not really in a rush right now.
I can appreciate that, Joey. I know that it can be frustrating when you have a goal and a plan and that plan's not met. What do you think stopped your home from selling?
You know, I think it's the market right now. Honestly, I think it's the market. I think what our agent told us is because the rates where it is, I mean, people can't afford our home.
Yeah, actually, Joey, there's so many ways around the rates and marketing right now. A lot of our agents on our teams are getting buy downs for our clients, but yeah, I just think that sometimes agents want to throw that out there that haven't done their job, but homes are still selling. There's actually been about 37 homes that have sold in your area in the last couple months. Can I ask you, what did you like that your realtor did for you?
So you said 37 homes?
Yes, 37 homes within a mile and a half of your home sold in the last 3 months.
Wow. And so just like my home then.
Yes, just like your home. Very comparable in square footage, very comparable in size of bedrooms, and within a mile and a half of your home.
Do you think I could get what I'm asking? What I was asking?
I definitely think you could get what you're asking, Joey. Are you familiar with the techniques that we use to sell homes?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Well, I would love to spend about 30 minutes, sit down with you. And is it you and your wife, or?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to take 30 minutes and just sit down with you and your wife. Do you have today available at 5 or tomorrow at 3?
I'm gonna have to talk to my wife for this whole thing. Okay, I'll give you 15 minutes, Kim. I'll give you 15 minutes. Look, my wife, this really was disappointing to her. And just all of this, her having to keep the bedrooms clean and the bathrooms clean and the kitchen clean was really stressed out. and I don't want to stress her out anymore. So if you really think that you can get us a price like that, I'm willing to meet with you.
Yeah, Joey, I can appreciate that. It's so frustrating. And I know, as you know, a wife myself, how hard it is to keep the house clean. So yes, I will take 15 minutes of your time, and we'll come up with a marketing plan that we will get your home sold and we will get you to Auburn. Can I ask you one more question before we get off the phone?
Yes.
So what do you think, what did your agent do that you liked?
Well, I mean, he did everything he could to sell it. That's why we were really surprised that it didn't sell. I mean, he put in the sign in the yard and everything else like that. So,
Okay, yeah, you have to do much more than put a sign in the yard nowadays, but I look forward to meeting with you and your wife and getting you to Auburn. So I will see you at 3 o'clock on Saturday.
love it, love it. Great job, Kim. Great job. Well, how did it feel for you? You had Paul all fired up. Yeah, Paul could not wait to get back in the ring. Paul wanted you to hurry up and set the appointment so he could jump back in the ring and do another one. He was fired up. His energy was getting excited. He was fired up for you.
Thank you,
Man,
Paul. It felt better than it has felt. Yeah, for sure. It felt like didn't I felt like I could breathe a little bit more, and I was trying to really pay attention to what you were saying versus reading the script.
I love it. I love it. Any feedback for Kim? So Kim, my only feedback for you, it was a great call. Is I wanted you to ask number 8. What will you expect from the next agent you choose?
Okay.
I want to know, you have to know that, Kim. That
Okay.
is one of the most important questions on that entire script. Remember, 1 through 4 is arm wrestling. One
Okay.
through four is where the majority of your hangups are going to happen. But you got to know what I'm going to expect. You got to know what I'm going to expect. You with me?
Yeah.
Paul, what do you got?
I was going to say, I think you're right because she had the appointment and then she asked about what good things the other realtor did,
Right.
and we've already thrown him in the trash. So focus on what do they expect you to do, or something like that. That's the kind of the same thing, but
So I love your analogy, Paul, but I want to make a little tweak on that, okay? What we want to do is we want to be unbiased about the last agent. We want to let the seller say what he has to say. Our job is to be an investigator. We're trying to figure out why it hasn't sold. Because frankly, Kim, I'm very surprised your house hasn't sold. I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised. Really? Yeah, I mean your house, I mean from I'm looking at the pictures I'm looking at, it looks really nice. So let me ask you, Kim, what are you going to expect from the next agent you choose? Slow it down a little bit. What are you going to expect? Isn't that the most important part of it? What will you expect? What will you expect from the
And do
next
you
agent
think I
you
slowed it down a little bit? Because I'm really working on that. I've actually been doing some cold calls lately. I actually called somebody yesterday, and like he was giving me the time, and I felt like I really did rush him. Like I feel like I could have probably dug a little bit deeper. Do you feel
well,
like I was rushing on that call?
no, I don't think you were rushing.
Okay.
Here's where it is. You're rushing, you're rushing on calls because you're nervous.
Mm-hmm.
You're rushing on calls because you're nervous. When you can understand the cadence behind it, and when you can understand that there's a rhythm behind it, and as long as you're giving value and you're engaged and you don't sound like you're trying to sound perfect, mess up. Do whatever, mess up.
You told me never to do still stuck in my head for 17 years.
Well, but what I'm trying to say is this. Here's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, when you're speaking, you don't want to do when you're in front of a person,
Okay.
right? Well, maybe was a bad example, but what I'm trying to say is I want you to make sure you're human. I want you to make sure you're human. I want you to make sure you help them realize that they're an individual. I got off the phone today with somebody in my credit card company, and I was so frustrated. You know, I told her on the phone, I said, this is a perfect example of how you guys make me feel as a company. And my wife's ear popped up. I said, you know what I feel like? Write this down. I feel like just a number. I just feel like a number because I don't think anybody's hearing what I have to say. Right? You don't want them to feel like a number. Everybody else makes them feel like a number, Kim. Okay, who's up? Who's up next? Great job, Kim. Who's up next? Who's up next?
I mean, I'll go again.
I'll go.
Hey, John, you're good, man. Don't worry about it. Come on now, you're a beast.
Okay. Rough.
Yeah, roar like a lion. Roar like a lion. Okay, you say ring ring, I say hello.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, I'm looking for Joey.
This is Joey.
Hi, my name is Hammer with EXP. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Well, I'm sure you figured out your listing is expired. And I'm just calling to see when you're gonna hire the next uh agent to do the right thing for you.
You know, thank you, John, for your call. I have been getting calls nonstop. And I mean, at this point right now, I'm taking agents' names and numbers, and I'm going to do research on them and decide who I want to work with.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, I saw your home on the MLS when it went expired, and looking at the pictures, man, it is outstanding house. Don't know why it didn't sell. So if you sold your home, where would you go next?
You know, we were looking at going out to Los Angeles, but with all these fires and everything, I don't know what we're going to do, honestly.
Yeah,
But
those fires are scary. But despite the fires, how soon do you want to go?
you know, I mean, we're itching for a move. I mean, LA was one of our options, and now we're considering Orange County.
Ah, nice. So what do you think stopped your home from selling?
You know, I honestly, I'm kind of without words. I agree with you. I mean, I think our home is really nice. I mean, we just put a new AC on, we put a new roof on, right? And you know, we did everything the agent told us to do. We did everything. We did all the landscaping. We dumped about 15,000 into the property to get it ready to sell.
Well, that leads me to my next question. What made you pick the last agent?
You know, I mean, he's been sending postcards to us. I mean, as long as we've been here, the guy sends things to me all the time. So, I mean, I figured he was an area specialist.
Wow, wow. So what was it that you did like that he did?
I mean, honestly, I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. He seems like he knows what he's doing. You know, I'm just surprised.
Well, it seems like he just did the basics for you. So what do you feel they should have done?
Well, get my house sold.
Oh yeah, I agree, definitely. So what do you expect from the next agent you choose?
I mean, really, I'm gonna expect somebody to be aggressive. I need somebody aggressive. I need somebody who will communicate with me. And honestly, I need somebody to tell me the truth because I'm blown away. You know, he's the one that told me the price on the property. So I mean, I did everything he needed to do, and I just don't feel like he was truthful enough with me.
So have you chosen the next agent to work with?
I have not chosen another agent like I mentioned to you before. I'm taking names and numbers. I'm going to do my own research. I'm not going to rush to anything this time.
Are you familiar with what I do to sell your home?
I'm not.
Well, well, how did we meet?
You called me.
Exactly. And that's what I do. I call people every day and I look for and I add to my buyers list. And that's how I basically sell your home. So, I'd like to send you a pre-listing agreement. There I have a book that you can read and you can put together some questions that I can answer for you. You have time for me to talk maybe 6 tonight or sometime tomorrow morning?
Yeah, yeah. I have time for you to talk. Absolutely.
All right. I just need about 30 minutes of your time. Are you married?
I am.
So let's have your wife there as well, if that's possible. And then I'll see you tonight.
Perfect. Awesome. How do you think you did, John?
Yeah. I'm I'm still winging it. So, you know.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
guess what? We all feel
I'll
like
give myself a 4 out of
we
10.
all feel like we all feel like we're winging it. Okay. I
I'll
think you
feel
did.
better when I start doing the calls and I get a rhythm going. I just
Yes.
no, I have no rhythm right now.
Yeah. So John, I think the role play was great. The only thing I'd like to see you do is repeat what I'm saying.
Okay.
Repeat what I'm saying. Because if you're not repeating what I'm saying, I don't know if you're listening to me.
Uh-huh.
Right? So you're repeating what somebody's saying is because you want them to be convinced that you're listening to them. Right? Like with LA and Orange County. Okay, great. You asked me how did I pick the agent? You know what I mean? Hey, he's been sending me mail. He seems like a local expert, So respond to that. Okay, so you've gotten some of his mail pieces and he perceived to be a local expert. Okay. No, absolutely. So I'm just curious, what did he do that you like best? He did this and he did wow. You got him even more surprised why he didn't sell.
Uh,
You might need a more aggressive approach. It's a logical answer. If he did this and you didn't get it, right? And I'm surprised, you're surprised, and wow, you spent 15,000 getting the house ready? Wow, you sound like you're committed, John.
so
I
should
just
I go back to the 4 reasons why a house didn't sell? Price,
so,
location, marketing, or condition?
John, here's a very important. This is why we debrief. Listen, you have to give somebody new information that they didn't have when they got on the call. You have to give them new information.
Okay.
Are you aware that we had 76 homes that sold in your area? New information.
New
Are
information.
the most common reasons why homes don't sell, John, is usually it's price, location, accessibility, condition, and marketing. But most agents always blame the price first, John. You know why?
Because it can be manipulated.
Because the price is the easiest thing to blame. Here's what I want to do, John. I want to meet with you for about 15 minutes. And I want to help you uncover the reasons why I feel it didn't sell. And then I also want to share with you what I do to sell homes and give you an opportunity to work with an aggressive agent like me. I want to give you the opportunity. And it's also going to give me an opportunity to see whether or not I can help you. Because at the end of the day, John, I turn down more listings than I take.
Mm.
Okay. You got something, Paul? You're fired up, Paul. You got something. Talk to me.
I'm just saying, if they're already sitting there and it's objection, and you're not gonna, you're struggling for that appointment, then pointing out right there, like, well, listen, you said it's only 15 minutes of my time. I pass on more listings than I take. Type of attitude might actually spur them one last time to be curious.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, you when you try to sound like me, you're always going to be second best. So come up with those dialogues that you can talk with authority with them, right? So what do you think about the market, Joey? You know what? That's a great question. I'm glad you brought that up, Kim. The thing right now, this market is for people that are motivated. This is a market that you need to be motivated to sell. You do. What do you mean by that? Well, it just means that where interest rates are right now, buyers are picky. They want a home that's turnkey. And I tell sellers that I don't take listings from, I tell them, if you're not really motivated to sell in this market, then don't sell. Really? Absolutely, yeah. Because I'll tell you, 99% of the time when I list a property, I sell it. And the 1% is because the seller's not taking my advice on what it's going to take to sell a home. Make sense? Just it becomes logical. After you get past number 4, guys, and you start peeling it, whatever, it becomes, it's just a conversation, Kim. Just a conversation. Just like your open house people. So what do you think about the market? How are you answering that question? What do you think about the market? That's an important question. I had a guy in the restroom the other day say, what do you think about the market? I said, you know what? It's a new market for a lot of us, but can I tell you something, that this market is not for tire kickers? Well, what do you mean? It's not for people saying, oh, honey, we should put our home on the market and see if we can just sell it. No, that's not who this market is for. But you know what saddens me the most? He said, what? I said, because most people, the only thing they're in love with is their interest rate. And lenders are lying to agents. Lenders are lying to buyers right now. And agents are lying to buyers, telling them that it's the right time to sell. And it's the right time to buy. Reality, it depends the motivation that the person has in selling and buying. Does that make sense?
Love that.
I said that. We're washing our hands in the restroom, and I said, they're lying to them. Well, what do you mean? They're saying it's the right time to sell. You know what? How can they say it's the right time to sell until they know that person's situation? Is this a true statement? Yes or no? Did I give them something
100%.
to think? Did I give them something new to think about? Do you think I drew them in? Do you think now they're even more curious? Kim, you are extremely persuasive. John, you are extremely persuasive. Paul, Amber, you are extremely persuasive. You just have to realize that it's about you pulling in the right information and being honest. Being honest. Are you aware that the average agent sells 2 to 3 homes a year? I'm not aware of it. Yeah, it's true. And majority of reasons why people expire is because they don't have an aggressive approach to selling their home. The last 2 homes I sold, I was the best price listing in the entire zip code. Did you catch that? The last.
You got balloons going.
I went like this. Do you realize the last 2 homes I sold, I was the best price in the zip code? The best price. I learned that from my coach. In a market's having a hard time selling, you need to be the top 2 homes. Top 2. Top 2 homes. So, okay, we got time for one more role play. Amber, you want a role play, or are you just visiting?
No, yep, I'm here for the role play.
I love it. Amber, look at that. Well, you know what? You don't have to look for the script. It's right there. You've only done this a few thousand times. I love that you're getting on. Amber's like, hell yeah, give me some. Put me in, coach. Okay, you know the role. You say ring, ring. I say hello, and we get moving.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Joey. This is Amber, the realtor. I'm sure you figured out your home came up on the market as an expired listing, and I was calling to see when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home?
Amber, thank you for your call. I've been getting a lot of calls this morning, and my wife and I, we're just gonna kind of stay put right now until summertime, and maybe revisit it then.
Okay, you're thinking about staying put into the summertime. I see.
Yes.
Well, if you sold this home, where were you planning on going to next?
We were actually looking at moving out to the Bay Area because that's where my brother is.
Oh, the Bay Area. Okay, exciting. So how soon would you like to do that?
Well, I mean, I would have liked to be there yesterday at 5, but
Yes.
it didn't work out.
Oh, yesterday at 5. I see. Well, I'm curious. What do you think stopped your home from selling?
You know, I just think right now it's the interest rate in the market right now. I think there's just a lot of uncertainty going on, and I think people are afraid.
Okay, I understand. Yes, uncertainty market. That makes sense. Well, how did you happen to pick the last agent you listed with?
It was actually the guy that sold me the house.
Oh, the guy that sold you the house. I see. Great. Well, what did that agent do that you liked best?
Well, I mean, I don't know really what he did. I mean, he did what you guys do.
Oh, wow. So you're not even sure what he did. Ouch. And it sounds like he just did the basics. Um, well, what do you feel he should have done?
I really feel he should have sold my house.
Right. He should have sold your house. What do you expect from the next agent you choose?
Well, honestly, Amber, we're not even that far. We're not even that far ahead right now. Right now, we're just looking at just kind of staying put right now until the kids are out of school.
Okay, you're just thinking about staying put and waiting for the kids to finish school, right, and holding off for the summertime. I understand. Well, um, have you already chosen an agent to work with?
I have not.
You have not. Wonderful. Well, I would like to apply for the job of selling your home. Are you familiar with the techniques I use to sell homes?
You know what? I'm not. I've actually never heard of you, Amber.
Oh, no. Well, I understand. Um, I would like, well, what would be the best time to show you? Today or tomorrow at 4?
Amber, can't you just tell me on the phone?
Um, I would love to tell you on the phone, but really it just takes 15 minutes of your time for me to show you exactly how I can get your home sold um, in today's market.
Okay, well, I'll give you 15 minutes, Amber.
Oh, awesome. Yes. So would that be 15 minutes today or tomorrow?
I think tomorrow would be better.
Tomorrow, great. Well, I look forward to meeting with you tomorrow at, we didn't set a time, but I would actually set a time. So tomorrow at 1.
Man, for somebody who hasn't done an expired call in ages, you just rolled right through that. It sounds like you've done this before.
Oh, awesome. Yes, thank you. Right. I was fumbling a lot. I don't even know your motivation. So I was like, man, this was kind of, I know it's the number one thing, but yes, was able to get through it. So awesome.
What, Amber, I remember Amber primarily because Amber had her dream board. She would have her dream board folded up in front of her while she was making calls. So she would be staring at her dream board. That was one of the things that a lot of the agents in her office did. So they had like this little, and Amber would fold it up. Remember Amber?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So great. How do you feel you did, Amber?
On a scale of 1 to 10, a 7.
Okay. Any feedback for Amber? Any feedback for Amber?
Sorry, I'm here with Jason and he's making his calls. I swear, this dude is, once we get comfortable, it's gonna be all good. I don't want to talk too loud, but oh my God, Amber, that was amazing. And I remember doing calls with you 17 years ago, and I was always fumbling, and you just came at it like, yeah, that was awesome. And I love how you uh said back what he said. What is it called again?
Repeat and confirm.
What is
Yeah.
it?
Repeating and affirming. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. That was awesome.
Love it. Love it. Well, great job. Listen, guys, Saturday morning, Brent Go's office in Rockland, 8 o'clock a.m. We're going to be there and we're going to set some appointments. We're going to set some appointments this Saturday. Let Jason know. I'd love for Jason to come. If he wants, we'd love to have him. And he's not being about it. He's not doing, but he's not talking about it. He's being about it.
Man,
right
he's doing it. Like right now, like we've been trying to meet once a week and doing 2 hours. Hasn't happened in the last couple weeks, but literally sitting here, he's already had 3 conversations. Like, I mean, and I just asked him how long it took him to sound as comfortable as he sounds. He's like, he's still not comfortable, but he's been doing it consistently for
Okay.
I feel like a couple years, but he said since August. So, and it's just so natural right now. So we're gonna
Everything.
get there, y'all. We're gonna get there. We're
Absolutely.
gonna make some
You're right.
calls.
Absolutely.
And
Guys,
Amber, are you
It's
gonna be
good
there
news.
Saturday?
I don't know about this Saturday, but I have it on my calendar for March to be up there for our.
It's March 1st. I would love to see you.
Oh, it's March 1st. Okay.
It's this Saturday.
hey,
I'm
Amber,
on the ropes. But
You won't
yes,
be
I
on the
have it
ropes. It would be amazing if we could make calls together. Like it would be taking it way, way back, like 17 years ago. Okay, just throwing it out there. I'll
Yes,
I'll
appreciate
buy
it.
you lunch if you come down.
hey, there you go. Awesome. Well, listen, guys, I'm excited. Saturday morning, I'll come with lists on Saturday, okay? And we'll go from there. I'm excited to see you guys. Okay?
All right, bye guys. Let's
Bye,
go.
guys.
See you guys.
Okay, bye.